Hello everyone and welcome back to Turn Towards Love. I'm Rachael and today we'll be talking about the present moment and how to withdraw the senses and how to not shut down ourselves away from the world but really be quite present with it. And it's a practice called Pratyahara in yoga philosophy, and it literally means turning inward, and it is that withdrawal of the senses. So about looking inwards into ourselves and at the same time not shutting ourselves away from what's outside. And it's learning not to be constantly controlled by everything that's happening around us. And sometimes we think that it's happening to us, but things are just happening, and we can often get pulled and swayed by these external happenings. And what we want to do is be able to come back to our center and learn how to stay there and remain there, so we don't feel anxiety from spending our lives being pulled outward by noise, technology, opinions, desires, distractions. So this practice, Pratyahara, is the practice of gently turning our attention inward. It's the moment we stop reacting to everything around us and begin to listen to what's happening within. It creates a space necessary for deeper concentration and self-understanding, contemplation on the stillness and the quietness and the presence of our inward state. A simple analogy for this would be imagining a tortoise gently withdrawing its limbs into its shell. In the same way, Pratyahara is a returning of our attention back into ourselves. Once the senses become quieter, the mind becomes more available for focused attention, which will allow you to be more successful, be more present with the people around you and yourself, to learn how to be not distracted by everything external, and then be able to internally be at peace. And from then, a continuation onto the next limb of yoga is Dharana. We've now done many videos of the 8 limbs of yoga, and in this teaching today will be the last video of the 8 limbs. And the next limb after Pratyahara is Dharana, which means concentration. So Dharana is a practice of concentration. It's the ability to direct attention towards a single point without becoming distracted. So it's using that Pratyahara's presence to then direct attention towards a single point with the concentration of Dharana without becoming distracted again by the external stimuli. So this point might be the breath, a mantra, a candle flame, a sound, or an object of meditation. For me, I love to come back to the breath. So I center myself by breathing in and out through my nose, as I know that calms down my nervous system. And the longer exhale calms and heals the body and the nervous system. So it's an incredible way to really quickly come back to yourself, to center, through that single point. Most minds naturally jump from thought to thought, so we can constantly be distracted by even our own thoughts and the stories that arise because of these past pains that we have or future worries. Dharana trains us to gently return our attention again and again. Every return strengthens awareness. Every return builds steadiness. So a nice analogy for this one would be imagining a magnifying glass, focusing sunlight onto a single point. When energy becomes focused, it becomes powerful. To bring your power back to yourself instead of allowing your power to be taken away by external stimuli, This single pointed awareness allows you to become fully focused and regain your power. And then we're going on to the second to last of the 8 limbs, and that's Dhyana. So as concentration deepens, effort gradually begins to fade because your body becomes used to it. It knows where to go and how to navigate itself, how to calm the nervous system down itself. It will just be like riding a bike. So at first you may find it that you have to bring effort and willpower to these practices, but then through time and practice, like everything else, we become at one with it. So Dhyana is meditation, but not meditation as something that we force. Dhyana arises naturally when concentration becomes continuous. The mind becomes less fragmented and awareness flows steadily. There is less effort and more presence, less doing and more being. And thoughts may still arise, but they no longer pull us away so easily. We become the observer rather than the one caught in every thought. And isn't it like the worst thing when we can sit there and time goes by and we realise, what have we done for the last 20 minutes? And we're caught in a thought in our minds that's led to a lifelong story. It's not a story we really want to be in. If it's not something that we love, but it's something that is hurting us, or it's something that is negative, or it's something that's holding us back. Meditation, so Dhyana, is the way we can become the observer. So we are detached from thought. And an analogy of Dharana is placing your attention on the river. Dhyana is becoming absorbed in the flow of the river itself, so you are the embodiment of the river. And then we're moving on to our last limb of yoga, Samadhi. And so as meditation deepens, the distinction between the observer and the observed begins to soften. So Samadhi means union, and it's the final limb of yoga. It's often described as absorption, union, or complete integration. The separate sense of I begins to dissolve. There is a profound feeling of connection, peace, and wholeness and unity. It's not something that can be forced. It naturally arises through the sincere practice, patience, and grace. Samadhi is not about escaping life. It's about seeing it clearly. It's a recognition that what we have been searching for was never separate from us. It was always there, within us and as us and through us. The 8 limbs of yoga are not 8 steps to complete and leave behind. They are 8 aspects of a single journey, a journey from distraction to awareness, from restlessness to peace, from identification with the mind to the recognition of our deeper nature. We begin with how we live, we continue through the body, we refine the breath, we turn inward, we cultivate concentration, we discover meditation, and ultimately we return to the wholeness that has always existed within us. Yoga is not about becoming someone new, it's about remembering who you truly are. And with that ends the last video of the 8 limbs of yoga and the first yoga series. So thank you if you've been with me through this whole journey of going through the 8 limbs. I feel like truly embodying these practices and these messages and being able to integrate them deeply into your core, through your heart, in the most sincere, beautiful, loving way, then we can truly start to blossom and create a whole new life within us which means we create a whole new life outside of us. So until next time, I would be so grateful if you could like and subscribe and leave a comment. It really helps me out. Thank you again, and may you always turn towards love.